The day we rescued Dream, I remember I cried and I kept saying, I'm so sorry. You could see how weak she was, but you could see a tiny spark of life in her eyes. I felt like she wants to fight and she wants to come back. And that little light just grew and grew and grew every day. I just sat on her hay tub and I stroked her neck and told her that everything was going to be all right. He was safe now.
I wonder what she's thinking. I wonder what she's remembering.
She was a branded Mustang and was probably the most emaciated, skinniest horse that we had ever taken in. But we just jumped in with both feet and we took all the precautions that we could.
There's a beautiful board with the times of her feeds. The Dream Team. Please read Dream's schedule for feeds.
Every day was a reward.
Hello? Are you feeling pretty, girl?
I used to get out of bed the minute the sun came up and I would walk down, and if I didn't see her, I would be like,
Dreamy Dream. Good morning, Dreamer. Hi, pretty girl.
then she started waiting for me at the fence.
Good morning. Hello, good morning. The sun's coming out just for you, my girl. Just for you. Hello. Good morning.
It was probably the biggest connection I've ever had with a horse. It almost felt like we were going through this together. By 6 months, she really was looking almost back to normal.
Hello, girlie. Hello, Dreamy. Hello, Dreamy. Oh, you're such a good girl. Shall I show everyone how well you're looking? Shall we show everyone?
She's just really come back to life in such an extraordinary way. All the little firsts. The first time that she could have as much hay as she wanted.
Here's Dream this morning. Stop dropping all your hay, you silly girl.
Or the first time that she rolled and got back up. And the first time that she ran. All of those things were so meaningful. They were steps in her recovery. Once she got her energy back, it was almost like she didn't know what to do with it. It was kind of hard to contain her for a little while, but we just didn't. We let her get it all out. Joe Pesci was a young donkey that we rescued from Texas. From the first time that Dream met him, she was madly in love. It was like her entire life now revolved around Joe. Suddenly he had this helicopter mom that would follow him everywhere. She just loved him. I think she's a bit of a caretaker herself. She's a miracle. She has such a special place in my heart. All the horses here have stories, but there's something about Dream's spirit that just inspires us to rescue more and to do it for Dream because she loves her life so much. It's a gift that we want to give other horses. Dream did so much to change me inside, to almost open my heart even wider, to kind of fill me with more compassion and love towards these horses and just vow to do more to help them. We opened the trailer door and he ran out. I just remember Phoenix looking around, seeing the trees and the grass and sniffing the air. That was a really emotional moment for me. We were giving him back his freedom.
So they say a horse that rolls all the way over 3 times, and he did it 4, is an exceptional horse. I think we knew that about Phoenix already, but he just went and proved it.
I saw this photograph of Phoenix jumping over a barrier, and I'd never seen anything like that. I decided to find and adopt him. A whole year later, I was finally able to adopt him, but I couldn't find their mare, who was also in the picture. I always looked for his mare, and I never saw her. The first week, we brought a whole bunch of boys in for Phoenix. He made friends, but he was always a little standoffish. He never really pushed himself to the front. I always felt like there was a little bit of loss with him, because when he jumped the fence and could have just run away free, he came back to look for his family. He didn't want to leave them there, but in the end he lost them anyway. I was sad that he didn't have any of them. I would go up to Phoenix and he would be staring off like he was looking for something, scanning the horizon. He was still searching, thinking he might see his family. A couple of months ago, someone had sent me a picture of a horse, and I stopped and I looked. I had the picture of Phoenix's mare on one side and her picture on the other side. I'm looking here and looking there. Oh, she has brown ears. Oh, she has brown from her knees down. It's her. A horse I never thought I'd see again. It was like seeing a ghost after 2 years of looking for this horse. So that's where she got her name. We waited a couple of weeks and then we brought Ghost down and we opened the gate. Phoenix was on the other side of the hill, but he heard her and he came trotting over the hill. You hear him call to her when he first sees her. He looked at her and it was almost like he couldn't believe it. They both bend their necks into each other, breathing each other in, just to make sure it's really you. Oh my gosh, Phoenix and Ghost back together again. I had tears pouring down my face because these wild horses had been separated for 2 years. And in that moment, it was like they had never been apart. Here's Phoenix and Ghost. Ghost is sticking close to Phoenix. It's like they've never been apart. To wild horses, family is everything. The bonds that they form are so precious and so deep. There isn't any doubt that they know and love each other. They constantly touch their nose to each other just to check they're still there, almost like they don't believe this is real. I see such confidence in Phoenix's walk. I see all that sadness has gone. I'm happier knowing that Phoenix and Ghost are together forever. They get to grow old together, and that's the best thing. This helicopter was chasing this wild horse and his family to capture and take away their freedom forever. Blue Zeus was at the head. They ran in a line. It was very difficult to watch these horses lose their freedom. I felt heartbroken. Blue Zeus was a wild horse who lived on the ranges of Wyoming. I followed him and his family for years. That was the epitome of a wild horse family that were so bonded and so loving. You could feel how much his family meant to him. He fought for his mares and was the most loving and gentle father to his babies. Having a wild horse sanctuary, I always had this feeling in my heart, as long as Blue Zeus and his family were wild and free, then we had something to fight for. I'd never really let myself become attached to a wild horse because I knew that there was always the possibility that he could be rounded up with his family. But none of them touched my heart like Blue Zeus. I bought 6-foot-tall print of him from wild photographers, and I would look at him as I walked out in the morning to go to work. He was what we were fighting for here at Skydog, keep horses wild and free.
Do you see them? There's Cotton and Gigi and Ladybug. Hi, guys!
Then everything changed. Blue Zeus and his family is captured by the Bureau of Land Management as our public lands are cleared of wild horses in favor of livestock and mining. They were then branded and sent to different off-range facilities to spend the rest of their lives in a dirt pen. I'd made a promise in my mind that I would do everything to get him out of there. Every day I continued to write and email and call and ask to be allowed to see him. For days I prayed that he would survive. Then we finally got notification that there was to be an adoption event. He had a lot of cuts and marks on him, but it was him. Even though he was a shadow of his former self, he still had this nobility and pride. I was the only person to bid on him, and I wrote $25, which is the lowest you can go.
Bidder number one, you still want the horse?
Yes, I do. I remember this extraordinary feeling of thinking $25 wouldn't even buy a picture of him, but I just bought the horse. How on earth can his life be reduced to that? He jumped into that trailer and he didn't look back, as if he knew he was going to a better place. When we got to my sanctuary, he jumped out and he was off. Just to see him be back in a place with land to roam on, it meant the world to me.
Oh my God! Oh my.
But it really was the start of the next part of the journey. He often would be standing by himself and just gaze out to the horizon. I always felt that there was a huge part of him missing. So I made him a promise I would bring him his family back, and it became my life mission. The task went back to emailing and calling and writing and asking to get into the facility until we were allowed to. You won't be standing alone very much longer, because we're bringing your family home. I know you lost them, but we're going to bring them home, and I couldn't be happier for you. So just hang in there. 2 months later, we were able to find all of his family. I was in disbelief. It was magnificent. I couldn't wait to reunite them at Skydog.
Here he comes. Here he comes. There's Blue Zeus.
He knew who he was running to.
He's running to his family.
He ran and they all followed him in a line.
Look at him go. High trotting, family running after him. Look how proud. Saying hello to each one of his mares. They're like, Dad, where have you been? You got your family back.
It was the most spectacular dance that I've ever seen. I remember thinking, what an enormous thing that we've done. Reunite such a large family and watch them live out the rest of their days. It was like a dream coming true. I didn't know that I was ever going to be able to keep that promise to Blue Zeus, but the fact that I was and have means the world to me. They're never going to be chased again. They're never going to be separated again. Blue Zeus will always be my North Star. He's my spiritual teacher. He's taught me values of patience and determination and living in the moment and not giving up. It's amazing what you can achieve when you set your mind to it. When I went to see them for the very first time, I was so struck by how shut down they were. They had been taken from the wild to the kill pen, and they had learned to survive by just checking out and sleeping. We had to rescue them. You want to come to Skydog? It's a magical place. You'll like it a lot. This one horse would turn her ears to me. She seemed to be hanging on to every word, and I felt like she was the most connected. She was a really red-looking horse, so I just thought of the name Ladybug.
Hi, Ladybug. Such a good girl.
These horses jumped on that trailer as if they knew they were going to a better place. We drove all the way from Colorado to Oregon, and they traveled so well. They were the perfect horses to haul.
Hey, guys. How you doing? You're traveling so well, aren't you? Traveling so well. Here comes Ladybug, and here comes Goose.
Next day, the vet came out to examine them. They were all very thin and had ribs showing. Once we built them up and got their health back, we turned them out with a herd so that they could get back a taste of the freedom they'd lost. But then the most extraordinary thing happened. The vet called me up and said, Ladybug is pregnant. We all got incredibly excited that Ladybug was going to be a mom and she could have her baby in peace.
Hi, Ladybug! Hi, Ladybug! You're back wild.
Every day we would go out and check on her and see if she had grown anymore. The most beautiful transformation was that Ladybug went from being a completely wild horse that had never been touched and now will come close and sees humans as kind and gentle and as friends.
Hi, Ladybug. Hi, Ladybug.
The morning that the baby was born, I had to look twice. I remember just being really confused because I was looking at the baby and it had really big ears, and then I realized it was a mule.
Good morning, Ladybug and Firefly. Good morning, Ladybug and Firefly. Good morning, buddy. Good morning, little man. Good morning. Oh, what a cutesy little boy you are.
I think having Firefly really was the final piece of the puzzle. For Ladybug, there's a certain part of her that understands the life that she has to bring her baby Firefly up in is so different from the one that she lived before. And Firefly will never know fear. He's got all the love and the care that he needs. He runs around as if the whole world is his playground. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. It's the greatest reward, seeing this baby run free with his mom and to give her back all the things that she valued, which was family and freedom. The day Goliath arrived at our sanctuary, we were all so excited to see how he would react when he sees his love after having been separated for over 6 months. We opened the gates for Red Lady and she trotted out. It was extraordinary because somehow she knew.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh my gosh.
Goliath came running and the first thing he did was touch his nose to her belly.
Oh my gosh.
That moment, I understood that he knew she was pregnant and she was going to have their baby. It was just a glorious sight. So I just found out that Goliath and his family have been captured. I just don't know how to feel or react right now. I'm just devastated. When I heard Goliath and his family had been captured, it was really heartbreaking. The BLM targeted their home to remove wild horses and make room for cattle and sheep. I knew I had to find Goliath and give him back his freedom and his family. There were many challenges during the process. We weren't entirely sure if we would be able to find any of his family.
Buddy, you're going to be just fine.
3 weeks later, we won the bid for Goliath. We loaded him onto the trailer and he set off across 4 states to us. So I have some incredibly good news for everyone this morning. The lady who adopted Goliath's lead mare wants to actually send her to Skydog to reunite with Goliath. It's just incredible news. So we made plans to transport Red Lady to our sanctuary in Oregon.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hi, good morning. Congratulations, my boy. Oh, you've had a beautiful son.
2 months after Bodhi was born,
Hi, little baby. Oh, what you doing in there? Oh, Bodhi.
it was a wonderful, happy ending for both of them. Not only they had been reunited, but now they really were a family.
Hi, little Bodhi. Hi. Where's a good boy, Bodhi? Hi, Bodhi. Oh, so handsome. Aren't you, Bodhi?
Later on, we rescued a zonkey named Zizi, who was going to a canned hunt ranch in Texas.
Hi, Zizi. He is a zonkey. He's a cross between a zebra and a donkey. Aren't you? Look at all those stripes.
We were worried that obviously we didn't have another animal like him. But one day I noticed Bodhi and Zizi play fighting, and it was very unusual. I thought it was maybe something that had happened one time. But then every time I drove by, Zizi and Bodhi would be playing and playing and playing. They would both go down on their knees and nip each other up their necks. It's really wonderful because Bodhi didn't have a friend that he could learn to play fight with, which Mustangs do in the wild, but he had found it in Zizi. They really are so accepting and unconditionally loving of each other that's what inspires me. Rescuing Goliath and Red Lady and watching the very obvious love that they have for each other confirmed to me everything I'd ever thought about wild horse family. It is so important to these horses to stay with their families they knew and loved in the wild. Goliath and Red Lady really inspired every family that we've reunited since.
Here he comes. There he is. He's running to his family.